Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Well, we're going to do it. I'm going to make my first cupcakes, okay? I promised you Snickerdoodle Cupcakes, and that's what we're going to bake. It'll be my first. My mother didn't like cupcakes, so we didn't have them in the home. And so I'm going to be learning while I'm showing you how to make them. You probably are much better at it than I am. We need 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. I don't know if I have 2½, but we'll find out. You know what? I'm not going to add yeast because I'm running low on that. I'm going to add something else. I'm going to add a ½ cup of whole wheat. I know this is a cake, and I normally wouldn't, but I'm going to see if I can pull this off. It's only a little, so it should be fine. And into this, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm sure a lot of you have already made cupcakes. This is a first for me. I had a girlfriend who was in junior high school. She knew how to make simple cupcakes, but she'd buy the instant package of cake mix, which I hated, so you know I'm not going to use it. A ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm using iodized salt in this one because I don't know how it's going to come out and what I can and cannot do, so I have to sort of wing it a bit. ½ teaspoon of clove. A ½ teaspoon of mace, which is very rarely used in recipes today, but I love the seasoning of mace. It always makes me think of autumn. And 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon. Alright, now you're going to mix all this up. We got chopping and other things we have to do before we even get to the point of starting to make this dish. This dessert. So we'll get these mixed. And we'll get things going in time. Alright, put this to the side. We'll be putting things to the side. Now, they want us we need a measuring cup, and we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, they want you to make sour milk, which means you just add 2 teaspoons of vinegar, stir it, and let it sit for about 10-15 minutes. I always keep buttermilk on hand. I think that's it. Okay. Now, if we take this and put it to the side, we're got a lot of things we're going to have to do. Okay, we need a ½ cup of chopped nuts, and they want us to toast these. So set your oven to 325. We're going to watch them like a hawk because they can burn. I'm using walnuts for this one. I wanted to use dates, but I have the dates set for something else. I'm not going to tell you because it's a surprise. Alright, half a cup, alright. Once they're toasted what it does is it brings the flavor out a little more. When you toast them, you can actually taste the difference. Unless your taste buds are shot. That's what my mother used to say, unless your taste buds are shot. So I'm just going to put mine in. I have a frying pan here that can go into the oven because it's completely, as soon as they get up there, it won't take long to do that. Then they want us to add a half a cup of seedless raisins. You notice how he says seedless? Of course I'm going to snack while I cook. I always do. I'm not going to stop now. 71 years of snacking. Put those in the bowl. We're going to put the nuts with the raisins. Don't worry about them. Put that to the side. We're getting there. Now in a bowl, you're going to put a half a cup of butter, softened. You're also going to need 2 eggs. Now you can do this in a stand-up mixer or not. It's a choice of how you want to do it. Oh God, here we go, getting crowded again. All right, put 2 eggs on the side because you're going to need 2. I already have mine. I'll move you over some. Get your cupcakes, your muffin tin out, and put your little things for cupcakes in there. All right. We got the raisin, we got the flour, soda, salt mix, we got the buttermilk ready. We need a cup of sugar. And put that to the side too. Everything of you knows to set on the side. Okay, we got the butter, the sugar, we got the eggs ready. We have to toast the nuts. They'll take about 5 or 10 minutes and I will be back. And when the nuts are done, we're going to chop them and then we'll be ready to put everything together. Okay, I'm chopping my nuts up right now. You're going to put your nuts with the raisins. Now, instead of adding brewer's yeast to the flour to make it more nutritious, I took a half a cup, I added 2 cups of white flour and a half a cup of whole wheat flour. But usually when I make cakes, I'll use the brewer's yeast because I'm making cakes and you don't want a bread. But this is so light, I think I could get away with it. Add a little bit of flour to this so we can make them suspend through the the cupcakes. Once you coat them like this, the dough will cling to the flour that's on the fruit and nuts, and then they're suspended throughout, be it bread, a tea bread, or be it cupcakes or cake or whatever you're making, muffins. This is how you keep them. If you've ever seen people and you see all the fruit down at the bottom, it's because they didn't do this step. This is where people are taking shortcuts and things aren't coming out quite the way they want them. Now, let's see if we have to put anything else together before we get this going. No, I just have to get my hand mixer. Okay, preheat your oven to 375. We'll start to get this going. Okay, does it go this way? No, it goes this way. All right, we are going to cream this butter. Creaming is like beating some air into it. You don't have to have it on high. Now we're going to cream these together. I'm going to be at this for a little while. Turn your mixer down to a lower temperature. You always, when you do the butter, you turn it up a notch. We're going to be adding one egg at a time and working it in. So I am on number 2, and 1 is stirring, so I'm at 2. See how creamy it's getting? I'll turn you down more. Now you're going to put your second egg in. See how creamy that is? Now we're going to add these in. And we're going to add them in now. So you turn it down to stir, which is your lowest speed on a hand mixer or a stand-up mixer. Okay, now we're going to alternate between the flour and the buttermilk. And you must start with the flour and end with the flour, always. And have your mixer on the lowest speed, which is stirring. Unless you want to do it by hand. A little bit of buttermilk. I'm going to add more flour. And add a little bit of buttermilk. flour. See, if you overbeat it, you're not going to get the texture you're looking for. This is why you're using low and stir. You can do it by hand if you wish. Okay. Pour all your buttermilk that's left in. Pour the last of your flour in. Okay. Okay. Now they toast it, because I've never done this, so I have to read this. Well, we're going to do it that way because I do not have a cupcake pan. Do not fill more than half full and use a spoon. Okay. Spoons I have. I got lots of spoons. Doesn't tell me how many I'm making here, so I'm sort of lost on that. Okay? But like I said, I've never made these, so this is brand new for me. I want to taste it. That's good. Let's see, which spoon do I want to do this with? Oh, my spoons are over here. Okay. Now, if you've never made cupcakes, like me, only fill them half full. Well, we're going to have to take some off of this one. That one's going to go way up. Well, I hope it doesn't. Overshoot these, we're going to know about it. I've never done this. Okay. We're going to have a double batch. I think all of you are better at making cupcakes than me. Now, I don't know if that's too much, too little, or too what, but we'll find out. I think one of them is way too full, and that's that first one I did. I really want to take some off of this one. Ugh, but it's so tacky. Okay. We're going to put them in. We're going to cook for a very short time. What I get out of it. They say cook them for about 15 minutes or until the cakes have shrunk slightly from the sides of the pan. I'm not using the pans, I'm using the paper, so it's about 15 minutes. Alright, well, I'll see you in 15 minutes and see if I failed or I got it right. Well, here's the first batch. I'm going to let it cool a bit. Now, Snickerdoodle Cupcakes. They didn't frost them at the time when they made them. We've only been adding frostings recently, but they used to be served just like this. Okay, so I've got another batch I have to work with, so I'll be back. The cupcakes now have to sit and cool before we can make a frosting. Once they cool completely down, there'll be a part 2 and we'll take care of it then.